I'm feeling good.
So I saw a video of this woman basically saying that on August 1st, Black Americans, should boycott all African businesses. And I really wanted to have this conversation because I think that the hatred and animosity that y'all have towards Africans is incredibly fucking weird. I just think it's really fucking weird. And I think that what it's born out of is a lot of Black Americans, and it's not your fault, are incredibly uneducated. Americans in general are incredibly uneducated of and about the world. And so I think that at the root, what is happening is Black Americans think that they have dealt with the worst form of white oppression. They think that because they were slaves, or their history of slavery is the one that's most known, because the enslavement and the kidnapping of dark-skinned Africans has happened all around the globe, right? There were slaves in Central America. There were slaves also and plantations on the African continent. But you would not know that because you're uneducated. And I do think that that is the first problem, is that you do not understand that globally, Black people have been beaten, kidnapped, tortured, murdered, eradicated. There has been a continuous genocide of Black human beings on this planet for a very continued and sustained genocide of people who look like me and people who look like her for a very long time. That's the first thing. I think that y'all think your suffering was worse than everybody else's suffering. The second thing is, I think it's American ego. I think that because as Americans, you are also triggered by the fact that Africans walk around with as much pride as we do. The reality is, Africans have a pride in their ethnicity, right? I won't necessarily say that there is pride in Blackness, because I think there is a lot of Africans who are anti-Black, and the hatred or animosity that Africans do have for African Americans, because I'm not going to sit here and be insincere, comes from the internalized anti-Blackness that the global Black population shares, right? But I think that Black Americans hate Africans because Africans have a level of self-pride that Black Americans do not have, right? And that triggers you when you see another Black person say, I am good enough. All right? That's the first thing. The last thing I want to just touch on is... What's the last thing I want to touch on? I don't even really have a last thing to touch on. I just think that she's so fucking stupid. I just really wanted to put those two things that sounded really intellectual so I could go in and just be like, you're a fucking idiot. You want to boycott African businesses for what? When literally African businesses are sometimes the only Black-owned businesses in our communities. When I'm thinking of Black-owned businesses, I live in Philly. I live in West Philly. I live by the Deuce. When I'm thinking of Black-owned businesses that are by me, they're all African-owned. That's not because Africans are somewhat taking away, like, economic access from Black people. That's not what's happening at all. I don't know. We're not taking away any economic access from you because we're both niggas. You understand what I'm saying? And so very often, the money that these African businesses are making are going right back into the community. What she said was so fucking incredibly stupid and so fucking incredibly ignorant. And it comes from Black American uneducatedness and Black American ego. I think that y'all are triggered by the level of self-pride that Africans have. And I think also you're very uneducated on the complete history of blackness in this world. Because if you understood the complete history of blackness in the world, such a statement would never come the fuck out your mouth. It just wouldn't. It just wouldn't. The animosity and hatred that Africans have towards Black Americans is internalized anti-Blackness, but it's also from white America. It's also from white people. The only forms of Black culture that are sent outside of America are images of Black culture that are very stereotypical of what Black people are. That's why when Africans insult Black people, the first thing they talk about is y'all are lazy, you don't have jobs, you're on EBT, because that's what white people have told them about Black Americans. Black Americans, I truly inherently believe that your animosity for Africans comes from the way that we carry ourselves, because you do not believe that other Black people in the world get to hold their heads as high as we do, especially when the world says we come from huts and barren shit and all this other stuff, and you expect us to bow to you because in some way you feel like you are the head of the global Black collective. Both sides are wrong when it comes to ignorance and hypocrisy, but when I see stupidity like this, I gotta call it out. And now I'm done.
African do you have a beef with? How can a whole continent live free in someone's mind? I don't get it. I think the last one I heard was we're eating out of necessity. Africans don't have food, our food is trash, we're eating out of necessity. I heard another one, Africans think they're better than us, and now I'm here you want to boycott Africans. Okay, go ahead. If no African person is giving you I am telling you. And you know what irks me is which Africans? Like, there are a lot of Africans. Are you talking about Nigerians? I'm Nigerian. Are you talking about Ghanaians? Are you talking about Congolese people? Are you talking about South Africans? Like, which African do you have a beef with? Be specific. I don't know that. How come August 1st you want to boycott African burger salons? Go ahead and boycott them. It's going to make you sleep better at night. Please, go ahead. Do what brings you peace. Because right now, I am all for everyone's peace and quietness, and my own peace too, so that I don't have to keep hearing this every 2 business days. For real. If it's gonna make that coffee burn faster, go ahead. If it's gonna put more money in your pocket, go ahead. Okay? Ain't nobody stopping you. Please. Please. If it's gonna give you peace of mind, go ahead.
There is a lot of arguing currently going on between Black Americans and Africans after a Black American lady made a post calling African food nasty, saying African food has no seasoning, fufu tastes nasty, Black Americans only eat Caribbean and Chinese food, and Africans are not happy about it. They are making videos, and in my opinion, it's not necessary. Black Americans are our brothers. Black Americans were brainwashed about Africa. They were told we don't like them, and all they saw about Africa were commercials of sickly looking, hungry children begging for money. They were told we live in huts with wild animals, and Black Americans are now starting to understand that Africans are truly their brothers. It was just people coming in between us trying to separate us, because they know the more closer we get, the stronger we become. Africans are not responsible for the problems Black Americans are facing in America today. Besides, the lady in question is not a representation of Black Americans, and she sounds so uneducated. I'm sorry to say that, because Black American women are the most educated demographic in America, but I guess she didn't make it in that cut. And it's fine. Africans have always loved Black Americans. We've always admired Black Americans, from their music, their bandanas, their way of talking. We've always admired you guys, and Black Americans also love us. I've been to so many events with Black Americans. They are amazing people. They are well educated. They are well respectful. They wouldn't even talk down on food from a different culture, talk less of a Black culture, even if they don't like it. They are very respectful people. It's just other people trying to separate us. The whites are not fighting each other. The Asians are not fighting each other. Only us. We should stop all of this. We should stop all of this and come together and support each other with love and unity. It's going to make us stronger. Africans are not the reason for the problems Black Americans are facing today. An African has never sent a Black American to jail for 100 years because they stole a loaf of bread at Walmart. Africans are not the reason for the income inequality among Black Americans and they are not. We are not. The major problems Black Americans are facing today is not because of Africans. We are just also living our lives, doing our thing. So we should stop all this hate amongst us. We should come together and unite like other people from other races, like the Caucasians, the Chinese, or the Asians, and we're going to become stronger. We should stop all of this. It's not going to help us in any way. We are one. We love each other. Our ancestors have fought so hard for us to be able to see each other today, be in the same room with each other. We should embrace this opportunity and make history. We should add to what our ancestors have done.
Americans are saying they want to boycott African restaurants, anything regarding Africans, because they don't want to be associated with Africans. But why in the name is it still African American? Why can't they just be American? Because white people from Europe are just called Americans. But why do you have to add African in it, and then yet you still deny that you're not African?
To the miserable ones that are saying to boycott African businesses, have you forgotten we do your hair? Have you? Who's going to make the next pretty whore for the ghetto, for the hood, for the neighborhood, right down the street?
So it's no more in news that some African American are saying on the 1st of August, they will be boycotting all African restaurants and African breeding shops. Why do you want to do that? Why are African Americans waking up now and saying they are not African Americans, that they are Americans? Bro, where are you guys from? You are from Africa. That is where you are from. Your ancestors are from Africa. You want to forget your lineage? You want to forget your history? You want to forget where you're from? And saying you're going to boycott African restaurants, you're going to boycott everything that has to do with Africa? Are you kidding me? You are not doing yourself any good. Yes, you are Africans. That is where you are from. You either take it or you leave it.
They talk about boycott. Boycott what? All you guys do is your hair. Like, okay, you might take a little business from Africans, from the hair shop, but what else do you have to offer? You, like, come on now. You guys don't own banks. You don't own shit. What the fuck? Like, why you guys on here talking about, oh, we're not gonna go get our hair done? Okay, bitch, then go with your roach hair that you have, because your hair is dirty and it's full of roaches.
American cockroaches is one of the largest and most recognizable cockroach species. Despite its name, the pest is native to Africa and the Middle East, but it's now found worldwide. If I didn't know no better, that describes African people too.
You know, when we stayed in them apartments, we never paid the bill.
Talk about boycott African businesses, and a lot of people have a problem with that. But this is my question though. For Africans from Africa, born African. I'm not talking about Africans born in the U.S., right? I'm not talking about that. But Africans from Africa who come here. Have you ever seen Africans patronize like black businesses, black restaurants? Like, have you ever seen an African in like a black barbecue restaurant or soul food restaurant, right? Or a fried seafood restaurant or whatever? How you see Africans patronize these establishments? Or at a barber shop, or at a FBA salon? Look, I'm gonna tell you what I see. I do sometimes see Africans go to FBA churches, and that's it. But I'm talking about like actually supporting like these businesses. But y'all have a problem with us, with FBA boycotting y'all businesses. Like I said, last I checked, I don't even see y'all eat soul food. Y'all have a problem with black people saying they don't eat African food, but y'all don't Africans from Africa, I don't see y'all eating soul food or barbecue at all. Like I said, you see, the issue with this is the FBA is trying to tell y'all is about reciprocity. We're not seeing that from y'all. Yes, American-born Africans, they do pretty much everything FBA do because they have the same mind frame. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Africans from Africa or Africans in Africa, right? I need some answers.
I've seen one person for real, one black American person talking about not going to the African braid shops. And then I seen a couple of African braiders, I guess, that was like, well, where y'all gonna get y'all hair braided? Who gonna braid y'all hair? I got braids right now. A black American girl did my hair. When I was a kid, my auntie braided my hair. Yeah, in the 90s. I frequent the African braid shop sometimes when I want to get it done fast. And it's a lot of small braids, some knotless braids or something. But as far as stitch braids, some Allen Iverson braids, any straight backs, any flip over, Fulani, any of that shit, I'm going to a black American girl. I'm going to the hood. I'm going to the ghetto. These girls have been braiding since forever. What are you talking about? Y'all not the only ones, and they braid great in the hood. Ain't got good prices. Same person been braiding my hair since 03. She's black, American lady, my friend. Y'all not the only ones that know how to braid. We did not learn how to braid from y'all. It's been tradition for a long time. I know y'all gonna say, well, y'all, cause y'all can. Hey, don't start that shit. We have plenty of braiders if that's gonna be the boycott. Okay, y'all, chill.
Africans still talking shit. We up in the ante now. We ain't doing nothing African. Looking at all them little owners' names when we go to a business going forward. We looking for all them little click-clacks y'all motherfuckers got. Yeah, we looking for all that chewing-you and the doo-doo and the bobo and the moto. Yeah, we looking for those. Yeah, we not shopping nothing African. Nothing at all.
I'm making this video because I wanted to support 𝒲𝒶𝓎-𝒯ℋ, who is promoting a protest for August 1st. Complete blackout on African braiding shops, restaurants, and stores, right? I'm absolutely here for this. I'm showing my support because I do this in my everyday life. I do not shop with the Africans. Ain't no African ever braided my hair, put their hands in my head, or none of that, right? I don't do the restaurants. I stopped like years ago. I do not shop with their stores. If I walk into a store and I accidentally realize, not for me, right? So she's encouraging that we do an August 1st protest all through the month of August. I think it should continue throughout for the rest of the year, right? Let them really feel the heat, okay? Because they are confused about who they are, who we are, and what this is all about, right? They're so busy licking boots, they don't seem to want to give us our respect. They need a wake-up call, right? Because clearly they don't understand that the large majority of why you are even in the space that you're in is because of us, and that our dollars are the ones that pay your bills. Because we black them out. I want to see how many white people finna support y'all, right? I want to see how many of y'all businesses is really going to be able to stay afloat month after month of black people not supporting you, right? Like, let's really be about it. So in support of 𝒲𝒶𝓎-𝒯ℋ, I am even pushing past August, but it starts August 1st, okay? Complete, total blackout on Africans, period, okay? Let them know what time it is.
And y'all can say what y'all want, but y'all going up in these African shops and getting cussed out and getting played in and getting brazen and big in the middle and little around the edges. Then y'all talking about something, Africans is not the problem. Yes, they is. Yes, they is. And y'all condone it because y'all love convenience. Y'all love to go sit up in somebody's bikini bottom, the bottom of bikini bottom, as long as it comes with quick self-serve checkout braids. I ain't never seen nobody that don't want to go sit at nobody. They always gonna be quick. 15 people's on my head. The disrespect that y'all go through going to the African braid shop, y'all are the reason why they keep opening up 15 shops. Y'all over here giving them y'all hard-earned money and they cussing you out, slapping you in the face, putting synthetic hair in your head, doing y'all any kind of way. Doing y'all any kind of way. And like I said, I don't care. If you got good service, you just got good service. If you a bad braider, you a bad braider. You a good braider, you a good braider. I'm not no hater. But the way I keep scrolling down my timeline, that's why I don't double tap African. When I see y'all, oh, come with me to go get my hair done. Let me go get my hair done. Let me go over there and get cussed out. Let me go over there and get the middle big and the outside look. Let me go over there and do that. And then get treated like dog crap. Then you got to hold the baby. Then you got to take them home. Then you don't even get a discount. All I'm saying is, I would rather go, what is that, crumbs with bums, then let somebody, treat me any kind of way and get them that money because of convenience. And I said what I said. It don't make no sense how they keep popping up. They got shops each. Don't mind my jiggly I can cook. But it don't make no sense how they got all these shops up around here and they treating y'all. Folks slapping folks. Where's the professionalism? Let it be a black-owned business. Let it be a black-owned business right here. They get on Facebook and bash black-owned business like it ain't nothing. But Africans can do whatever they want to do. Yeah, bad. And y'all can say what y'all want.
You guys, go back and watch this amazing braiders video. Okay, you guys, it's a little noisy over here because I'm at a cookout right now. But I've been seeing videos come on my timeline, boycott African braiders. Now, I've been feeling this way for the longest. I visit an African braid shop one time in my lifetime, and when I tell you, this woman brought all my edges out, and I could not even think straight when she got done braiding my hair. This is no shade to anyone, but I've always said a lot of women that I know that frequent these braiding shops, I noticed that their edges is thinning out. And then I know that a lot of us have issues when it comes to like thinning of the hair. You know, it comes with age, DNA, and stress. But I never felt comfortable with them doing my hair because I always felt like they really didn't know my hair. I felt like I needed someone who understood my hair, my texture, could care for my hair a little better. And even though my sisters, both of them, one was a braider, she no longer braids, she did that years ago, and another one is a professional hairstylist. I always had the luxury of not worrying about a hairstylist. So I want someone who specializes in my hair. Not saying that Africans can't do our hair, because I have seen some horrible videos, even with women who are African descent and were born here, and they went into these braiding shops and they didn't know that they were African and start speaking in their language, talking crap about them. For me, that's where a lot of this boycotting their ass I stand by. How dare people go in your shops and spend their hard-earned money, and you sit there and you talk down about them in another damn language, and you wouldn't even be there if it wasn't for them supporting your businesses. So I stand by it. Boycott their ass. I stopped going to Asian nail salons a long time ago, and once I start even getting out of just going to the Asian salons and giving the sisters a chance, my nails were more healthier, my toenails wasn't turning all different kind of colors, because when you start even seeing how they were very unsanitary, how a lot of their people didn't even have licenses, they were just working under someone with their license. I don't like going into somewhere and then I'm trying to tell you I don't like something, and then you talking shit about me in your goddamn language. Yeah, boycott all their asses.
Come here. This is a message for y'all, especially my Black American women. Come here, listen. I think it's time for us to show
how strong and how powerful the Black American dollar is, since they don't believe us. I think it's time to boycott the braiding shops. That's what I think it's time to do. It's time to boycott the braiding shops.
I 1,000% agree. And take it a step further. Boycott all African businesses. And take it another step further. Make sure you are promoting Black American businesses and you are putting money into Black American businesses. They are taking this as a joke. And when you look at the Black American dollar and they talk about this $1.8 trillion, the rest of the diaspora is included in that. But once you take them out, we still have buying power of about $1.4 trillion. Show them why our dollar matters. Show them why our voices matter. They're talking about we can't boycott Lululemon, we can't boycott. Like, people are saying we haven't boycotted Target. Like, are they not paying attention to the news? Have they not seen Target's stock tumble? We are used to doing this. This is how we fight back, but they don't understand that. They don't understand a boycott because they don't understand that as a form of fighting back. So we're gonna have to show them. And also, you guys keep trying to bash this lady, and she says that she hopes unity can happen. However, unity cannot happen if we are not respected. So first, we have to gain our respect. After that, we can possibly talk about unity.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I think it's time for everybody to have this uncomfortable conversation about African braiders, okay? And I have had this conversation several times, and let me say this, before anybody starts jumping in my comment section, this is not to divide us any further. This is just the truth, y'all. Let's start with, I've been dealing, I ain't gonna say recently, but I've been dealing with Africans for a long time. They've been over here, they set up shop and they braid our hair, they be rude to us, they take our money, they talk bad about us. Not all African shops. I do know that people, y'all love a deal, y'all love a special, and y'all love the fact that it's a lot of people able to get you at one time. Y'all like convenience. But for the most part, they don't treat us well. Even I took my daughter to an African shop the other day, and my daughter pretty much said, Mama, they was gossiping. Basically, when they found out, I took my braid gel over there to them. And I told the girl, braid my baby hair with the braid gel. Baby hair turned out very pretty, and it's very neat, and it is thick. That's not the issue. She said that, the lady said that you just could go to the kitchen. Your mama could just go to the kitchen and do your hair. So once they found out that I braid hair and that I braid hair at home, they had something to say, which was fine. And I'm glad my daughter told me after the fact. But what I'm saying is, all they do is gossip and talk crap in their language. You know, the professional thing to do would be just to braid. Just to braid the people's hair and make them look good and get them out of there. Don't pull on their hair and don't overcharge them. You understand? They been mistreating us. And Alice is a prime example of what they will do and how they act. See, Africans don't care if you come to the internet on them. Because guess what? They got a revolving door. As long as they open up shop and got the open sign up and got the convenience for y'all, y'all gonna go. Y'all gonna go, and it ain't nothing wrong with it. But what I'm saying is, y'all need to get it together. And then now, y'all seeing how they really act because they really praising her. They praising Alice. Oh, she ain't do nothing wrong. She ain't do nothing wrong. Hold on, accountable, baby. This ain't the first, the last. They always act like that. Especially if you go back and try to tell them to correct something, or something fell out, or do this. Oh, but they hate all of that. They want you, they don't like back talk, and they want you to sit there and take it. But they need, what the Africans need to realize is, y'all over here in our territory, bruh. Y'all over here in our territory getting our money. You know what I'm saying? Don't mistreat us. Treat us good. Y'all have so much to say about us, but we are the reason why y'all have bread in y'all pocket. Ain't no Africans going to the Africans. Ain't no Chinese going to the Chinese. Ain't no Mexican going to eat Mexican food. It's the... Let me get up out of here. So when y'all say, oh yeah, Alice didn't do her hair, that's Alice's shop. Alice talked to the lady. Alice had full control of this situation. She came to the internet with a 9-part series instead of saying, you know what, she may have made a mistake and booked one of the girls in the shop, but and thinking she was booking me, but that's not what happened. I want to deeply apologize on behalf of my salon. Boom! it would have been over. But no, you want to call a girl evil. You want to go over there to her page and talk about her child, and you wrong, baby. I can't stand when people deflect. I've been in situations too where I've got badged, I've got talked about. Baby, I got disputed. $3,000 in disputes back in 2019. We all mess up. We all fall short of the glory. Nobody's perfect. Your business is not always gonna get a 5-star rating. You understand? You got to be willing to take the good with the bad. And Ellis is not ready to take the good with the bad. So for her to even get a community like that and bring a shop in, she not ready. Because baby, you gonna get a bad review. It's somebody that's not gonna like something that you're doing. So what I'm saying is, all I would like to see is her to come back to the internet, do her apology video. Everybody's gonna say Ellis didn't do the hair. Ellis is taking full responsibility of that being her shop. Then they saying that the girl didn't book Ellis. The girl did book Ellis. Go look on the girl's page. She did book her. She booked Ellis. Then Ellis is like, what? Then the girl was at the wrong shop, y'all. She literally could have got scammed or could have fair played. Then she had to wait 30 minutes on the braider. Y'all not even taking none of this into consideration. The whole thing was disrespectful. It was wrong. It was rude. But y'all don't care because y'all like going to the African shop with a blanket and a bunk bed and standing in there all day long. Cause as long as y'all get in the chair, it could be 1 o'clock in the morning. Y'all don't care because y'all like convenience. But really, it's not convenient. An appointment that's set is tea, baby. When you know you got a 9 o'clock appointment and you can get your hair done, now that's the tea. So.
Y'all, I don't know who planned the boycott, okay, for August. Whoever did that shit, bravo to you, okay? Bravo to y'all. Now, here's the interesting thing about the boycott, because I done been watching the whole thing unfold. Now, when they talked about boycotting, y'all, they said, we are boycotting everybody. They was just listing folk. They was like, we are not supporting non-BA businesses. If it's not an essential item, don't get it. Okay? Boycott these content creators, these influencers. Boycott these businesses. Boycott everything. Change your physicians. All kinds of stuff. Basically Montgomery boycott style. Because y'all know how our ancestors did it. Right? They found all kinds of ways to not support these businesses at all. And they held that shit. They held that shit for damn near a year. But why I said the person who said it for August, whoever said it for August, y'all are geniuses, okay, is because of the fact that all the communities were mentioned, right? Everybody keep bringing up the Asians. The Asians heard, they be around, they said nothing because they caught some boycott action in 2017, and I think they learned from that shit. They didn't run around here getting these comments and start degrading or saying anything crazy or nothing to BAs, right? They stayed far away from the shit. They went missing. That's what they usually do. They go missing. Okay? They know. Now, I don't know if the Caribbeans have done much action. They ain't been in the streets. I'm going to let y'all tell me if they had got active and started saying something. But the folk who had got the loudest, right, when they had started saying them braid shots, was Africans, okay? Now, why I said that y'all is brilliant for setting it in August is because y'all gave them the opportunity to expose themselves fully. Y'all drew them out. It was a masterful draw out. I don't want the Black American community to overlook the fact that they masterfully drew these people out. They drew these people outside, baby. Baby, when I tell you they in these comments with stereotypes, I mean, it's whole Klan rallies going on in some of these comment sections, baby. These Africans are holding Klan rallies, y'all. They got white sheets on and cones on their head. They is literally burning crosses in these comment sections, okay? And I said, man, I don't know if that was the plan, but if it was, bravo to you. Okay, because there was a lot of people on the fence. There was a lot of fence riders who was like, no, we need to all come in together. Y'all being extreme, blah, 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 blah. But these people came outside and showed the Black Americans that was unsure and didn't know what was going on. They showed them. They showed them exactly why the boycott was called. They showed them exactly, they came and proved every point that was made as to why Black Americans threw Africans in the boycott. They proved it up and down the street. Boy, I tell you, but they say they supposed to have the green, they supposed to be so smart. But they didn't catch that shit. They walked right into that shit. They took that bait, hook, line, and sinker. Y'all.
These Africans are fucking cowards, y'all. So they out here making videos calling for Jamaicans and Haitians to come support them in their fight against Black Americans. Ain't y'all the same one saying y'all 54 countries, y'all a continent, not a country, calling for help for Black Americans and Jamaicans and Haitians? Y'all gonna have to start making y'all some videos. I need to see where y'all stand, because I don't want to just come at y'all if y'all not on what they calling y'all to be on. But let me say this. Them Africans know what's up with us, y'all. They really know. If we flip that motherfucking switch, and not that switch, but that switch too, it's over for them. But anyways, y'all see what I got on the screen. Chinese people over there buying up all their stuff, putting them in 360 debt deals, their government at that. So they really have way bigger issues, which they will never try to address.
I want to speak about this African tether you see on the screen before me that's telling us foundational Black Americans, if we want to go to war, let's see what it can prove. She's also calling for African and Caribbean business owners to lock their doors to foundational Black Americans. She's also calling for African doctors to boycott their foundational Black American patients. You know, now this is discriminatory practices all the way around the board, but you let an FBA brother or sister fail to receive adequate health care from one of these janky tether doctors, we gonna see to it in FBA society that medical license, they won't be having it for much too longer, that we gonna see to it that medical license gets revoked at the end of the day. So play with my people if you will. You're gonna find out quick, fast, and in a hurry that this ain't it, because them damn tethers in that medical industry, they got a long-standing history of, you know, misuse and abuse of our people. So this ain't gonna be tolerated. You know, we gonna see to it that damn medical license gets revoked. Play with my people if you want. You know, now this tether's video comes on the heels of, you know, her maybe hearing that there's going to be an August 1st boycott. You know, some in foundational Black American society are planning the August 1st boycott the whole month of August of African and Caribbean businesses. And, you know, I think it all stems from, you know, I'm not positively 100% sure, but I think it all stems from a sister over there on TikTok who might have went to one of these African hair care shops and got janky service, so she decided to do a boycott. So this tether is putting out her video in regards to that. You know, I say that, you know, we do, you know, boycott the African and Caribbean business owners, but I say we just don't stop there with, you know, boycotting them. I say that we roll this thing out all the way around the board and boycott all these damn tethers, you know, the African tethers, the you know, Caribbean tethers, the East Indian tethers, the Asian tethers, the Latinos, the Arabs, you know, you name it. We roll this thing all the way out, the whole way around the board, because let's be honest, none of these damn people give a damn about our people, and they all, you know, give janky, inadequate service to our people. So I say that we boycott them all, because we got, you know, the power, you know, as an FBA collective, we got a $3 trillion spending power, and I say that we weaponize that spending power and start spending our money with other FBA brothers and sisters, you know, in their particular businesses and industries, you know. And if we ain't got, you know, that business or that industry, we create it, because ain't a damn thing that we as foundational Black Americans, you know, can't do. You know, the power lies with us. We say, you know, what can fly and what can't fly, and if we don't get behind things and co-sign and endorse it, it flops the same way that Essence thing did. So I got the audio and the video of this African tether, you know, telling us foundational Black Americans, if we want a war, let's see what it can do, you know. And us foundational Black Americans, we were born war ready, and we stay ready, so we ain't got to get ready. And these fleeing tethers ain't ready for no war. When the going gets tough, all they know is put on their flip-flops and flee. So I got the audio and the video, like I said, family, and we gonna walk through and talk about this thing. Fair use.
If only this reached a consensus of all African and Caribbeans, everybody from Jamaica, Trinidad, Haiti, and Africa, did this meet your consent? Since the Black American want to go to war, let's try, let's see. all of us that call out one day from work, all of us across the United States, all immigrants call out from work. Yes. If they want to go to war, let's see what they can prove. And also, all immigrants, like your businesses from all Black Americans. Simple as that. Don't let them go into your grocery store. Don't let them go into your
Lock your doors from foundational Black American brothers and sisters if you want. We got a $3 trillion spending power. I bet you that business go out of business quick, fast, and in a hurry, because we say what moves and what don't move. But let's continue.
Let them go into your restaurant. Don't let them go into your salon. You want to go to war? We will. And also, we can ask all our African doctors, boycott all Black American treatment. Like I said.
Yeah, go ahead and be dumb if you want. Play with my people if you want to. You know, you're going to find out quick, fast, and in a hurry that this ain't it. You know, you let an FBA brother or sister fail to receive, adequate health care. We in FBA society going to see to it that that medical license gets revoked quick, fast, and in a hurry.
You don't want to go to war with African. Trust me. We are 54 freaking countries. The population.
54 countries, and over there in Africa, y'all got the majority, but none of y'all can come on cold. Y'all, you too tribal, cutthroat, and none of y'all can get it together, So, that don't mean a damn thing. Y'all all flee over here because y'all ain't got the wherewithal and tenacity to get it together in your homeland. But let's continue.
We are 54 freaking countries. The population of African in the United States is more than your Black American population.
Hold on, y'all don't got more of a population than us. We're 44 million strong as foundational Black Americans over here on the U.S. soil, our homeland. So y'all don't got, more of a population than us. So you can stop, with the tether lies, you can cut that out, truth be told.
Just so you know, that's the reason why 64% of the Democratic vote is immigrant. And out of that 64, 54 is Black.
We know that, you damn immigrants are supporting the Democratic Party. That's why, we sat it out. We voted for the couch, as foundational Black Americans, last election. Because, the Democrats will sit up here and lift all of these damn immigrant groups and give them all this damn set-aside money and resources, but, fail to give us resources as foundational Black Americans in our justice claim, which is cash reparations. So we know that, y'all in large part, supported the Democrats, but we ain't support them. And that significant number of foundational Black Americans that didn't support the Democrats caused their narrow asses to crash and burn. But let's continue.
Of the Democratic vote is immigrant. And out of that 64, 54 is Black. So Black America, you don't want to go to war with us. At this point, I don't care if you're a Democrat or if you're a Republican, because the stupid Black Republicans that are being controlled by the white tea brought this up. And it seems to be that some of you on the Democratic Party side are also getting along. So you want to pick that fight? We can do so. Yeah, we can ask our 54% vote to boycott the coming elections. Oh yes, I get.
Y'all ain't got that much power. If y'all got that much strategicness and on coldness and power and oneness, y'all would apply that to your homeland, and your homeland would be better, and you wouldn't have to flee up over here to America, the land that us FBAs built. But let's continue.
I guarantee you, when we boycott it, you will have no seat.
And just because you throwing out a bunch of numbers, you tether, don't mean that you saying nothing bright or smart. But let's continue.
Don't play with us. We are calm. We don't intend to insult nobody. We don't look down on anybody. You went through pain, we went through pain. Yes, you went through slavery, we went through slavery in our own house. But we decided in Africa that we're going to put the past behind. We're going to fight for a better Africa.
You ain't fighting for a better Africa, no way. So stop telling that tether, babble, and lie, you know, because you can't fight for a better Africa sitting up over here under us foundational Black Americans. You know, no one hates, you know, their place of origin and their homeland more than a fleeing tether in all actuality. Because if they had that much love and respect for their homeland, they would have stayed there and fought to make it better. But let's continue.
You want to tell us you're the only people that ever went through slavery? No, the Caribbean, Haiti is still going through slavery. Jamaica went through slavery. Trinidad went through slavery.
We as foundational Black Americans, we never sat up there and said we're the only people that went through slavery, but we different, you know, and the difference is we never ran, never fled, never will. See, tethers, when the going gets tough and that opposition hits, they throw on their flip-flops and flee. We as FBAs are still on our ancestral homeland. Let's continue.
Trinidad went through slavery. I can name you multiple other African nations that went through slavery. But we don't come out here dragging to ourselves, oh, we suffer history, somebody got to pity party us. No. We work our ass up because we don't want the white teammate to tell us what to do. That's why we work. That's why we don't want to live.
Y'all love the white man. Y'all worship the ground the white man walks on, and y'all ain't nothing but buffers used in the system of racism, white supremacy to ensure that we don't get, you know, our resources as foundational Black Americans and our justice claim in the form of cash reparations. But let's continue.
If there is somebody got to pity party us, no. We work our ass up because we don't want the white teammate to tell us what to do. That's why we work. That's why we don't want to live on the system. So if you're jealous and you're angry about that, go do the job that we do. Go to school. That's all you need to do.
She wanted them tethers that I came over here with $2 and I just work hard, you know, but what they not saying is that, you know, they giving all these damn resources and aid, you know, when they come over here. And, you know, we as foundational Black Americans, you know, our ancestors made that lane for them to flee their narrow asses and behinds over here. And we're locked out of them resources and aid, you know, and set aside when we go to get them, you know. So that's a bunch of complete nonsense that they come over here with $2 and they just work so hard. Because if they worked that hard, they would have took their hard work and, you know, them ethics and applied it in their homeland instead of fleeing up over here. But let's continue.
Go to school. That's all you need to do. I saw your video where you calling for them to boycott African restaurant and
Yeah, but family, in closing, I say that we boycott the African tethers along with, you know, the damn East Indian tethers, the Latino tethers, the Arab, the list goes on and you name it. Because we're foundational Black Americans and we say, you know, what's hot and what ain't hot. You know, we got a $3 trillion spending power, and if we don't, you know, get behind things, they're going to flop quick, fast, and in a hurry. Just my thoughts on the matter. Peace.
So a Black American woman got on here saying how she wanted us to boycott like African braided salons, right? So African nurse gets on here and says, this is war. It says that she's going to tell the doctors at her job not to treat Black Americans. Like, goddamn, bitch, you want us to die because we don't want you to braid our hair? You think we should die because of that? This is what I meant. I just made a video saying that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. I just said that 2 days ago. It's ridiculous. That is just that is over the top, and that is not necessary at all. You've got to relax. And they found her job. They already found her job. I got the video. I don't know if I feel like getting somebody fired today. I might think about it. I saw somebody else contact them already, so it's out of my hands. I might not even need to do anything. I don't know why y'all keep getting on this internet playing with these Black Americans. You're going to get fired every time.
So let me say this. Like I said, it is very, very important when you see somebody edit somebody's video and put it on the internet. Do yourself a favor. At the end of the video, go and search for the person who actually made the original video. And when you go on the person account, make sure you scroll down and find that identical video and play it for yourself. And that way you will be able to understand what the person was actually trying to say. Because when somebody edit somebody's video with an intent, they're not going to give you the full picture. That's why I don't like to edit people's video. Like, I just like to share the entire thing, that what you say, so everybody can understand what exactly you mean. That's why I don't like to cut people's video and then do portion of my talking and then do portion of the person talking, because that means that I'm being unfair to the audience. I'm not letting the audience understand exactly what this person is saying. And I don't want to create such a narrative. So when somebody says something, I download the video and I keep it in my phone. And then I share that video on my page. Then I do a response to that. That's how I do my video. Unlike the so-called FBA group, they will edit your video and put a portion that they think that they can brainwash people into following their ideology. Like I said, when we African coming from the continent, we are told that the Black American here are our brothers. We should work with them. We should be together. That's why we do everything we can to live together. But in as much we are doing that, you're not gonna let me, or I'm not gonna let myself go to the ghetto. Oh, because I want to be identified with my African brothers, so I should go follow the ones that are in the gang. No. Because I want to identify with my African brothers in the US, mean I should go to go fight the cop. No. Okay, I am not going to be the one fighting against the law. I'm not going to do that. That's why we associate ourselves with good Black American. Black American that are successful, Black American that are peaceful, Black American that respect the rule of law. We associate ourselves with them. We go to party, we work together, we eat together. Some of them go to Africa for vacation and come back and forth. So we have that relationship. However, the festival was sold to a white man. You didn't protest. You didn't complain about it. The white man was trying to change the name, the African festival. He was trying to erase that name and bring something else. Now, it got to the nerve of a Liberian who is also an African. Decided, I'm not going to sit here and allow something that Black people had fought for to be erased by some white person. So I'm going to purchase it. So he bought it. When he bought it, he decided that, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as a stepping stone to unite the entire Black race. So I'm going to bring everybody from the continent, everybody from Jamaica. As long as you are a Black, I'm going to make this a Black thing. So he incorporated everybody else on board. Now, some of you that call yourself so-called FBA went to the festival and got angry. Apparently, that was when you find out that it was a Black person from Africa that bought it. You started complaining. Why Jollof have to do whatever. You started all the complaining. Your own Black American brothers told you, stop. What you doing FBA is not good. You bringing segregation in the midst of us. This is wrong. You refused to listen to them. You kept on going. Then you start calling in names. You start calling everybody names. Then there was another lady who posted a video and said, okay, if the Easter festival is so important to you, why is it that Beyonce didn't buy it, Jay-Z didn't buy it, all the big Black celebrities that got so much money could not buy it, but it took an African to purchase it and save the name? Then you came back at her. You came back at her, you called her names, you went on her account, you took photos, you took videos, you even went on her Facebook account, you started attacking her children. Yes, FBA, that's what. And like I told you, all the videos, some of you may have deleted those videos, but trust me, we downloaded them. We downloaded those videos, and we have them. That's how the fight went on. Then you got on your TikTok platform and started talking down on African as a whole. Then came in the Nigerian. The Nigerians started to respond to you. You guys were going back and forth with the Nigerians. So I said, okay, what we're going to do, we're going to go to the FBA platform and we're going to make our case with them. When we go to your platform and we try to explain to you that you are in the wrong, FBA, what you doing, you start cussing us. Yeah, you started cussing us. You start cussing our food. Then we came back and said, oh, you want to talk about food? Oh, the last time we checked this. That's when we started. The next day you said you're not African. You don't want to be African. We should stop imposing ourselves on you. You're not African. You don't want to be identified as an African. So we said, okay, you don't want to be an African? Fair enough. Take the goddamn name African from your back. Use African American. Use whatever name you want to use, but remove the African. And for those who want to be African, who accept their ancestors, who acknowledge that their ancestors came from Africa, our arms are open. Our arms are open because they are part of us. They are our cousin. Despite the fact that they were taken into foreign land and their great ancestors were sexually abused the same way they did in Africa, we understand the pain they went through because we too went through the same pain in Africa. So it is time for us to unite. So to those Black Americans who accept their African heritage, we are all African. They don't have to take their bags and move to Africa before they can be African. They can live right here. But the fact that they identify as African American, if you touch them, you touch me as an indigenous African because we both are African. But you, FBA, said you're not African. And that's where the fight got out of hand. We went on your platform, you called our names, you start saying all kind of shit. Then I came back and said, okay, if you so hate us, it's not a problem. Just remove the African name from your so-called FBA. A day later, on your platform, you said that your FBA is going to petition President Trump to see to it that all Africans leave the United States. That was what you said. We recorded you. That you want to campaign for all Africans to leave the United States, including Jamaican. That was your statement. You said we were coming from Africa, we were crossing the borders. We told you no. People who come from Africa, we got to get on the plane to come here. We don't know no road, no shortcut to come through Mexico. We got to get on a plane. We get visa to come here. So what we do, we overstay the visa. We're not the one breaking through the border, but you still didn't agree with that. You kept on. And so while you were doing that, you called it for Trump to send all African back and you would take over the African businesses. So I came on TikTok and I told you that you don't need to do that. All you need to do, go protest, ask Congress, ask the European government to stay out of African resources. Because whatever you survive on in the West is literally coming from Africa. The raw material is coming from the continent. Then the next video you came out with, you said, if we boasting that we have everything, you're going to boycott all African businesses. And I did a video and I said, oh, African businesses? Okay, you don't have to boycott it. We just need to help you boycott it. We just need to call all doctors, all nurses, all hair braiding and everything. And we say, okay, today I'm tired, I'm not working. We call out. If you feel that we taking your job, we're going to call out and you can come take it because we work and we pay our taxes. That was enough. You came back with another video where you said, if you see any African in the midst of Black American, they should get kicked out. You were calling for physical attack on us. And another one came, boycott braiding. You believe that all African here, we ain't got no any other job, only braiding we do. And that's when I came back with the video and said, if it reached the consensus of all other African and immigrant, we should to call out. And we should boycott, since we all want to go into the boycotting business. That's where it started. So when you want to tell the story, tell the truth. Because the truth will set you free. Like President Trump always said, the truth is always the truth. Nothing gonna change. And so FBA, do not try to change the narrative, because you even talk about suing Africa Union. Yes, the African leaders, you talk about suing them. Just remember that. We got your videos. Like I said, call my job. Don't call my job. The truth will always be the truth.
So I've been seeing a lot of videos. Want to know, why is the August 1st boycott of African businesses happening? So I've prepared a few snippets for you to watch. Follow along.
go
You
like this.
black
take
Americans,
the
you feel
next,
so entitled. Over what?
the next right.
Lazy ass motherfuckers.
Yes, you guys don't like black Americans at all. You guys just say bad things about them. They are criminals, they are from slavery, they are not from Africa, they don't know their home. Oh.
I don't think Africans should be calling themselves black. We have the most genetic diversity in the African continent, and we're reducing it to a skin color. That's a mockery of us as an African peoples.
White people are not the problem in America. There is a narrative that is constantly attacking white people in America as if anyone born today enslaved anyone born today. It didn't, like, nobody that's white today enslaved you.
They cannot walk away and pass the liquor store. That when the cop pull all over, we don't have to stop fighting. I have my First Amendment right.
What do y'all feel like y'all should do in order to know where you guys come from? Are you guys doing the DNA?
We're telling you. We're telling you we're from America.
So
That's
you are still enforcing us to have to prove to you that we're black enough or we're African enough. We don't feel like we need to do that.
Doesn't that disrespectful?
How is that disrespectful?
Because you don't even want to try.
Y'all not even taking the time to talk to us without criticizing us. We're weak, we're lazy, we don't fuck with them, go to the...
The fact that you didn't want to do the DNA test, the fact that you didn't want to do this is showing how ignorant you are. That's what
I'm ignorant? Because of that?
No, that's...
You sound ignorant. Get the fuck out.
Those of you who wanted to know why the boycott is happening, I hope all those preceding videos answered